I don't think states can live in isolation. They have to have contact, have to cooperate. But as long as they have connections, they may have disputes. And you have to find some trustworthy, peaceful means to settle their disputes. I don't think any country wishes to go to war.
Le budget de la Cour internationale de justice, c'est 28 millions de dollars par an. Ça, en 3 années de fonctionnement de la Cour, vous pouvez acheter un avion de combat, un seul. Le recours au règlement judiciaire international est toujours plus intéressant pour les États et pour leur peuple.
There clearly seems to be, for over a century now, a very critical awareness that we need a supranational body. We need an organisation like the United Nations. We need an international judicial body.
The court's work is guided by the search for justice and the quest for peace. So peace and justice are the two overarching goals of the International Court of Justice.
The ICJ is a unique institution because it is the only world court. It's located in The Hague in a beautiful building called the Peace Palace. The PCIJ, which is the Permanent Court of International Justice, that had been established under the auspices of the League of Nations, was also housed here in the Peace Palace, so we're sort of a continuation of the original International Court. The court is not a criminal court. It doesn't prosecute individuals. It is only disputes between states.
En 1945, lors de la création de l'Organisation des Nations Unies, la Cour internationale de justice a été créée comme l'organe judiciaire principal de l'ONU. Et les États membres des Nations Unies sont automatiquement partis au statut de la Cour et peuvent porter une affaire devant celle-ci. Alors là, la Cour a une double fonction. Premièrement, il s'agit de régler les litiges qui peuvent survenir entre États, affaires contentieuses. Celle-ci tranche ces différends par voie d'un arrêt qui est obligatoire pour les parties. Ça, c'est la première fonction et ça regroupe, je dirais, 80% des affaires soumises.
La Cour s'est réunie aujourd'hui.
La deuxième fonction, c'est une fonction consultative, c'est-à-dire que la Cour peut rendre des avis consultatifs non obligatoires sur des questions juridiques qui sont posées à la Cour par des organes des Nations Unies, par exemple l'Assemblée générale, le Conseil de sécurité, ou des institutions spécialisées qui ont été autorisées à poser ce type de questions. Et actuellement, la Cour a rendu 27 avis consultatifs.
Of the separation of the Chagos archipelago from Mauritius.
La plupart des affaires contentieuses sont des affaires qui concernent la délimitation frontalière ou la délimitation maritime. Mais la Cour reçoit de plus en plus, ces jours-ci, des affaires concernant l'environnement, le droit de l'homme, le droit diplomatique. Donc, les affaires contentieuses devant la Cour couvrent la plupart des aspects du droit international. La grande salle de justice est la salle dans laquelle la Cour tient ses audiences publiques.
The parties, when they bring a case to the court, they must present the legal basis for their claim. And both parties will present their legal arguments with the evidence to prove the facts.
En ce qui a trait au statut de l'immeuble 6042 avenue Foch à Paris.
At the court, the two official languages are French and English, and we carry out all of our judicial activities in both languages. And it's very much a multicultural registry, so we have people from all corners of the world. There is a certain ceremonial tradition to the processes and procedures of the court that we keep. But in striking that balance, it's very important that the court also is a modern court and is accessible.
The court has decided to hold this oral proceedings by video link.
Alors, la Cour est composée de 15 juges. Les juges sont nommés, élus par les États membres de l'Organisation des Nations Unies. Le statut prévoit bien entendu que les juges doivent réunir des compétences de juristes notoires et également jouir de la plus haute valeur morale. Le statut ajoute également que dans la composition de la Cour, il faut assurer une représentation des principaux systèmes juridiques et il y a un gentleman agreement assurant une certaine répartition géographique.
I declare the sitting closed.
Une fois que l'audience a lieu, la Cour agit raisonnablement vite, dans un délai d'environ 6 mois. La décision est rendue, ce qui est assez court pour une juridiction internationale. C'est dans la salle de délibération qu'ont lieu les discussions. Il faut que chaque juge, en son âme et conscience, prenne une décision, qu'il vote pour ou contre. Il n'y a pas d'abstention.
The court is obliged to give reasons for its decision, and through this reasoning process, it will interpret and apply the law.
You know, there is absolutely not a single sentence in a judgment which has not been drafted in a thoughtful manner.
It's like a family. We discuss together, we argue together, but when we adjudicate a case, we're independent members. And of course, it's always the majority's view that will prevail.
A general duty to settle disputes in a manner that preserves international peace and security.
Dans la grande majorité, large majorité des cas, les décisions sont respectées. En dernière analyse aussi, s'il y a non-respect, il y a la possibilité de s'adresser au Conseil de sécurité. C'est l'arme absolue en quelque sorte, mais là il y a un recours qui reste possible.
Most of these cases could have degenerated into a wider conflict. But this has been avoided because of the work of the court. Just a few years ago, there was a conflict between Thailand and Cambodia over their frontier. And the two countries decided to come before the court, and the court immediately asked them to withdraw their troops from the contested area. And afterwards, the court issued its judgment, and the frontier has been peaceful since then, and the two countries have not gone to war.
Can we adopt the provisional agenda as it is?
Also, you will see that the work of the court has a concrete impact on the human rights, whether they are individual or collective of entire populations. I can give you as an example the advisory opinion of the court on Namibia, and to the fact that it led actually afterwards to the independence of Namibia. So these are examples of the contribution that the court makes to peace and justice at the international level.
For the peoples of the world, the court may be far away, but its impact is real.
I think we can say that it is one of the biggest successes of the United Nations.
By playing its judicial functions, the court actually has made great contribution to the development of international law. It is really the result of many talented people and the determination of states. It's not easy for mankind to come to this stage, to learn to settle their dispute through peaceful means. Personally, from the moment I made my solemn declaration, I feel the heavy responsibility on my shoulders, because every decision you are going to deliver will have impact on millions of people.
You feel a sense of responsibility. You feel the weight of this decision making, not only in your head, but you sometimes feel it physically on your shoulders.
When individuals are elected to this court, we are very explicitly not elected as representatives of our states. So the most important thing for each of us to realize is that we owe our duty to the entire world community. And to be honest with you, every day when I come into the court, I walk past the flag of the United Nations, and that's what I think of. We can't predict the future, but we can say with confidence that major areas of international law have always developed in response to the events of the time. So if we look to the present time, there's a burgeoning field of outer space law. And we see states accusing each other, for example, of engaging in cyber attacks. These were the kinds of issues that certainly the drafters of the statute of the court could not have imagined. And equally today, I'm sure we cannot imagine the kinds of disputes that will arise between states 75 years from now. But what I can say is that the statute of the court, because of its flexibility, because of its durability, has left us with an institution that will be available to settle these kinds of disputes, whatever they may be in the future. The court meets today to begin the oral proceedings in the case concerning marriage.
I feel a deep sense of pride that I work for the International Court of Justice. The mandate that it has to help with world peace is something that's very precious and important. So I can only hope that in 75 years' time, the court will still be functioning to full capacity like it is today.
Ça a été le défi d'ailleurs depuis quelques années, c'est de pouvoir traiter, au lieu de 2 affaires, 1 affaire par an, d'arriver à 4 ou 5. Vous connaissez l'expression justice delayed, justice denied, donc il faut faire mentir cela. Il faut montrer que la juridiction internationale peut rendre une justice efficace, et je pense que c'est la raison pour laquelle je suis ici, c'est parce que j'y crois.
These have been 75 years in which the court has blossomed, I would say, and I hope that the next 75 years will likewise see more blossoming of the court and more trust and confidence in its work.
I have to say this institution, judicial institution, is the outcome of centuries of humankind's pursuit of peace. Because in the past, oftentimes, might means right. Now we hope with judicial organs like ICJ, right will always prevail.